again by Republican Texas State Senator Dan Patrick. He's the chairman of the Senate Education Committee, and he's dealing with this very controversial curriculum down in about 875 school districts in Texas. Senator Patrick, thanks for sticking around. Some of the teachers in these districts have called this curriculum, quote, mind control. Can you give us some examples of what was being taught in the classroom, particularly, say, on the subject of religion?
Well, in the hearing, I asked a question about a lesson on Islam that was sent to me by an enterprising parent. And let me share this with you, Allison. It was parents doing their homework and trying to get information that brought this to our committee's attention. And so they found this lesson on Islam. And in Texas, we do teach all religions. I mean, students should learn about all religions. But parents, and I found it odd that there was a full lesson on Islam, but not an equal amount of time on Christianity or any other religion. And again, as I said in the last segment, as soon as we brought that up, the answer was, well, we've changed that, and that's not the program now. And that's the danger of online learning. Online learning is the future, and it is terrific that's how students learn. I mean, if they're learning history and they see the name Patrick Henry and it's linked to Patrick Henry, they can go areas they could never go in a textbook, and that's wonderful.
Right,
but it needs to be regulated.
But Senator, I mean, given that that's, yes, and that's the wave of the future. So how can you be sure of what the kids in Texas and across the country are going to be taught? How can you change this curriculum now?
Yes. Well, we're going to be sure moving forward. First of all, we have an elected board called the State Board of Education. They review all textbooks. They have hundreds of people look at new textbooks for mistakes and make corrections before the final printing. We need to do that with online courses. I want to turn over this curriculum and the lesson plans to the State Board of Education. They currently do not have control over this program. It's kind of outside the legislature, outside of anyone's control. So I want to bring it under the State Board, elected officials. They will bring in people to review every lesson. And then you cannot have a system where anyone can post a lesson at any time. It needs to be, maybe it's quarterly that a lesson is updated, or every 6 months, so that you do have the opportunity to update it more than a textbook that sometimes aren't updated for years.
Right.
But it's simply checks and balances, and this organization just got out of control. And what concerns me is we haven't had a chance to look behind the entire curtain, and when we do, I think we're going to find more instances of our patriots at the Boston Tea Party called terrorists.
Wow.
That's what we want to be sure is not continued.
Well, State Senator Dan Patrick, thanks for bringing it to our attention. We're going to have you back on to see if you've been able to make any progress with changing this curriculum. Thanks so much. We've also got an eye-opening report.